Sosa needs our help.
Love Sosa.
Love Sosa. Love Sosa. All right, Sosa sent us a DM, and we're gonna help him out because it's 7:30, and every day at 7:30 we do the homie helpline to help a homie out. All right,
That's
so
right.
He sent us a DM and said, "Hey, Brown Bag,
So good.
I need your guys' help.
Are you happy, Pio?
Me and my kids love listening to you every morning. Speaking of my kids, I took them to the No Kings protest in downtown LA Saturday. They're 8 and 15, and my wife is now furious at me. All right. So he said, here I was thinking I was doing something great by educating them and showing them how to protest peacefully and stand for your people.
Yes?
He said, we're Guatemalan. But she got so mad. He said, my 15-year-old was the one
Who laughed at him being Guatemalan?
Nobody.
No one.
I don't think anybody said. Yeah.
Oh, was it me?
You laugh in your own mind. Who said that? Who said that?
No one.
It's a voice.
Sosa said,
Shout out to Guatemalan people.
That
my
Yeah.
my
brother.
15-year-old was the one who told me about it and asked me to take her while her mom was at work. My wife said I took them to a dangerous environment and they could have been shot by a rubber bullet, trampled, or picked up. He said, parentheses, we're citizens, but we are brown-skinned. He said, it wasn't even that crazy. We marched peacefully for 2 hours and went home. So it's been 2 days already, and she still isn't over it. After she yelled at me about it, she calmed down and said the worst part is I didn't consult with her beforehand. I didn't think it would be a big deal because she was at work, and I didn't consult with her to take them to Lilo and Stitch when she was at work.
Not the same thing.
Yeah.
He said,
chill.
he said,
Valid.
he said,
not.
but all of a sudden, it's a big deal now. I told her that, by the way, and it got her even more mad.
Good.
I can't win.
Babe, I didn't tell you when I took him to see Lilo and Stitch. What should I tell you if I take him to protest ICE?
Valid.
He said, I can't win. I had the best intentions for the kids, Brown Bag, but now I feel like I messed up. Should I apologize to her or stand on business? Help me out, Brown Bag.
Or leave her because your wife is soft. That's
Or
it.
stand.
What?
Yeah,
Yes,
calm
come on.
down.
Because your wife is soft.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
very
bro.
extreme.
You gotta
What is that?
take-
Not in this climate.
You're
Nah,
taking
he
your-
needs to stand on the pyramid and
What do you mean stand on the
and
pyramid?
then be like, yo, this is what I want to do.
Yes,
that?
it's a
I don't-
He's saying the
protest.
pyramid because he's Guatemalan?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow.
But I'm saying it's a
That's messed up.
protest. You want your kids in the front line with you right then and there. Take them to a real protest. Take them where it's like, I might get shot by a rubber bullet, but oh wow, I learned and I'm still going to stand
I
here.
feel like downtown LA was a real protest.
Yeah.
Yes, but there's like protests in small cities that are like very.
What do you
Yeah.
wait?
Brother,
What?
you're angry right now,
Yeah.
and you're not.
No, because
Who's
wife,
that?
wife
Who's
is
that?
like, well, there's Lilo and Stitch and this and that.
No, she didn't say that. He said that.
Greg is.
Hey.
Greg.
I
you
think he's still mad about the
mad?
Dodgers
I'm gonna
winning.
eat my grape right now. I don't know.
I
Eat your
don't
little
talk about
grape.
the Dodgers.
Sorry.
True.
But I feel like she has a valid reason to be mad. I think it's less about the 15-year-old. It's more about the 8-year-old.
Put the 8-year-old there too.
Just because
It's a shield.
8 years old, you're still kind of small. I think at 15, you could fend for yourself. You might have
If
like
they
a
take
little.
your dad, you could figure out what to do. That's
No,
crazy.
I am
Take the bus
serious.
home?
Yeah.
Like an 8-year-old, man, that kid is gonna if something
yeah.
were to happen,
Yeah.
that's
They're
the
lost.
kid who's gonna be the most like traumatized.
But
Right.
low key, you're showing your kid like the reality of it. Not gonna lie, like you're showing them right then and there. Like, look, this is what it's about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this is what you got to stand up
So-
for. Like,
But
stand up
is
for
that
it.
a good thing or a bad thing? I'm assuming
it's a great
with
thing.
what I guess the precautionary parent is saying.
the same thing with the 8-year-old. The 8-year-old's gonna be right there. Like, you need that kid to experience that off the car. If they're sitting in the car, they're not gonna care about anything that's going on. They're just gonna look at it like,
No,
all
they
right,
were
kid,
into it.
No,
The-
they
we
see
go
all
it.
the
home,
kids
Dad.
were into
I'm
it.
a little tripped out too. I was the parent that like you guys are saying 11 is too young.
Maybe just for me. That's
Okay.
what I personally.
we're
do.
I
speaking
But
out
legit
at-
was like,
I wouldn't.
I was just legit was telling my 6 and 7-year-old, hey, do you guys want to make signs? And then because they see about it, I
Yeah.
think they're only they're seeing one thing. They're seeing what's happening,
Right.
yeah. But then they can also see what the people are doing about it. So I also understand what the meaning of taking your children to protest would seem to a parent that's like, all right, they're seeing the scary part. Now let's show them the other part of like what the people in the community as a whole are doing. And then Jorge just stopped that really quick. What did he say? Hey, he's the king in my castle, so I have to listen, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Who are you? Winning over the men,
In
winning
his
over the
castle.
men. Yeah. Okay, so same thing. Like you don't know what could happen. The
True.
downtown LA one, especially what it seems to be, that's the one that's on the news a lot.
Right.
You don't want to get caught up in that and things of that nature.
Yeah.
There is protests you can go to like in like smaller cities. Like I know Pasadena had protests.
Shout out to
In the
Sasha.
valley there was like 3 or 4 protests, and they were all like smaller, so it like less things can happen. We're in
But
down.
they can still see
What's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The concept, the idea of what's going on. But in
That's-
downtown, for me, I think downtown is like the one where it's like it could go south at any moment.
What do you think, Con? You have younger kids?
Yeah, nah, I probably wouldn't bring them. I don't think they can grasp the concept of what's going on yet. And I think it's, I mean, it's kind of points. I mean, first of all, I don't think they understand completely. And then second of all, anything can happen. And it doesn't have to be, people throwing, or law enforcement throwing things on your
just
end.
people.
It's just other
anything.
people.
Yeah.
People will be people.
Yeah.
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 Y a veces pues la riegan,
And
Yeah.
that's
And,
called a life lesson. Put your kids through it. Make them
Oh.
It's
experience
easy.
that.
It's easy for you to say because you don't have kids, dude.
That he claims.
Yeah.
I feel like Vic would take little Vic, and little Vic would be like, I don't want to be here.
Let's go home,
Why
Dad.
are you
I don't
protesting?
even like it here.
Greg's gonna put his kids in a cannonball and just toss them into
Hey,
it.
put his helmet on. I'm gonna shoot you into the sky.
Oh,
That's when you
my
make a Molotov
God.
cocktail.
So Sosa made an executive decision in his house.
Yeah.
His older kid, his 15-year-old, said, Dad, I really want to go. And he was like, you know what? Let's go.
get
I
it.
think this
Yeah.
is a good moment.
For sure.
And then he didn't tell his girl that was at work. Probably before that, he's hit his girl up at work, and she's like, don't hit me up at work.
Yeah, yeah. Probably. This is probably a larger point he's trying to prove.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're too busy.
Yeah.
You never respond anyway.
Yeah.
I picture her as like the soft parent that like worries about everything. Like,
No,
oh my
she's
God,
not.
my kid,
She's not soft.
my kid's gonna run into the corner of the
So
door
are you
right
calling
there. Yeah.
this fool a soft parent? Because he thinks the same way. Concrete does.
No, like
Yeah,
it's
tell
just,
him.
it's just
He's right
watching
there.
everything this kid does.
I know,
No,
but
It's
Concrete
because
thinks the same thing she
my
thinks.
girl wouldn't allow it either. And she's the queen of the castle.
Don't use my line. Don't use my line.
I don't think this parent is soft at all. I think she's
don't think so
angry.
either.
She's been a ball of fire ever since that happened because it went against what she believed. Like if she was a soft parent, she'd be like, okay, well it's fine. You didn't tell me. Like just don't do it again without like she is like pissed. Like it's been 3 days.
She's not talking to him.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think she's soft at all.
She's just mad she left
Sosa
out.
took his kids to the No Kings protest, okay? Seemed to fare out really well. I think
Yeah.
at one point in time, stuff got looked
Yeah.
in downtown LA.
Well,
But if
sunsets.
you were there earlier in the day, it seemed to have like you could
Yeah.
go and go
Calm.
home and feel the vibes and
Yeah.
be there and stand up for yourself and your community. But mom is upset because of
Yeah.
what could have happened.
Yeah, and she's right.
Okay.
I'm picturing Sosa being like, dude, he thought he was gonna get a king's welcome, like by taking
Yeah.
the kids. He
Look,
thought he
oh
was
my
doing.
God.
He's like, did you go to the protest? Yeah, babe, I
Look
did.
at our little
Yeah.
activist, babe.
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was important to take. What the hell were you doing? He's like, oh, he thought he was gonna
Yeah.
get so many points and probably get his foot rubbed.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, no.
Those are decisions though you shouldn't make alone.
I get you.
You should talk to your other parent.
Yeah.
Like, and you're with, like, it's not like there's baby mama, baby daddy, and it's like, oh, I had my time with them, and this is what I did
Right.
on
Yeah.
my weekend. Like,
Yeah.
they're married.
Yeah.
Living
They're
life
together.
of what
But
could have.
Lilo and Stitch though. it
What
wasn't a
could have
problem
happened.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem
Please do
there.
not add Lilo and Stitch into this, okay?
Like, something could have happened.
It's
Yeah,
a whole
something-
other alien
They
issue
could have
there.
choked on the popcorn.
yeah, you could have. Remember that penny that you ate when you were 4? Something could have happened there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he wants to know, should he apologize to her or stand on business? Lauren from Ontario. What's up, Lauren?
Lauren.
Good morning.
Lauren.
Morning.
Buenos
Morning.
dias. Lauren, talk to us. What would you tell Sosa?
Okay, one, he should apologize just for not telling her, but he was right by taking them because these kids are on social media. Even at 8, they're on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it has all this information, and the media makes it look crazy. And I protested on Saturday, and it was beautiful. And I think that we need to be in control of what our kids are seeing, because there's kids out here who think it's a joke.
Yeah.
And we need to be educating our kids. And as a parent, we're going to know when to take them out. You're going to know, okay, it's getting rowdy, we got to go. But you have to educate your kids on what's really happening in this world. And if not, they're going to see it on TikTok and YouTube and get a completely wrong narrative.
True.
He should have told his wife. He should have told her, hey, I'm taking them. I'll let you know when we're home safe. But he was right.
Lauren,
taking them.
do you have any kids, and did you take them?
I do have a daughter,
Okay.
and I gave her the option. And she was about it. She's like, I want to go, I want to go, I want to go.
Yeah. How old is
Then
she?
the day of, she said, hey, I'm kind of nervous. And I said, hey, if you're nervous and you don't feel comfortable, I'm not going to make you.
Okay. How old's your kid?
You know, so she is going to be 14.
All right.
And
So
so
she's
she's
yeah.
going to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
And,
left it in her.
And
you
even
left
at
it in
that
her
age,
hand.
and even at that age, you gave her the option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I'm like, you know, and when I came home, we talked about it. This is what it was like. It was very peaceful. She's like, okay, I want to go to the next one. But again, it's my responsibility as a parent to educate her, because what she sees and what she goes to school with is people think it's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids think it's fun. And we have to be the ones to show them, like, this isn't funny. This isn't a joke. This is serious. And when we go out and protest, it's not because we're bad people. A protest is because we want peace and because we're fighting for something.
Lauren, did you protest in the IE because you're from Ontario?
Yeah, I protested in Rancho.
Okay. Would you
There was
protest?
hundreds.
Yeah, I know. There was protests everywhere.
Everywhere.
Would you protest in LA?
Yes.
Are
After Rancho, I 100% would do LA. I would, you know, leave before the curfew. There's ways to go about it to where it's peaceful, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would 100% go to LA for the next one.
Would you be okay with taking your daughter to the LA one?
Yes.
Oh.
As long as we did the daytime and,
Yeah.
you know, you leave before the curfew, you follow it. If you see people doing dumb things, you go the opposite way, and then you leave.
What if you're like, dang, look who's throwing water, and you turn around and it's your daughter?
Oh.
This is what I've always wanted to do, Mom. Rage Against the Machine.
Throw water.
Okay.
It's a revolution.
Cynthia in Sun Valley. What's up, Cynthia? Buenos dias. Good morning to you.
I was actually telling him, like, I agree mostly with the previous caller. I do think that it is, like, something that our kids need to see. I do think it is personal opinion. And even within a marriage, like between you and your partner, you're not going to 100% agree. He should apologize just for not telling her. He should have. It doesn't matter if she was busy, if she was not going to text back, if he could communicate with her while she was at work, he should have hit her up and told her, hey, you know, our daughter wants to go, and I think it's important. Like, he should have said, if he thought it was important for her to see that, or he liked that she was the one that brought it up, like, he should have just told her, we're going to go, you know, and he should have sent that text, even if it was going to have a no reply, like, until later, he should have just told her. So he definitely should apologize for that. But there's so many things, like the previous person was saying, that you could do, like, to go around this. Like, one, yeah, it's a different kind of vibe when you're going with your kid, right? You need to be able to, like, gauge that as a parent. I'm sorry, Greg, not you, because you don't know, but as a parent, you know, like, when you see something and it's about to pop off, like, you have that feeling, you know, so it's like, you gotta be able to avoid that. And you can't get swept in with everybody else, right? Because your main priority should still be your child. But, like, I was telling Umberto when I was talking to him, but when I had mixed feelings about, you know, this Saturday. I in my heart knew I had to be there. I had to be active somehow in some way, right? And my daughter also had just reservations. I can tell she was just so nervous about what was going to happen, you know, within the city. So I did take her. We went to Van Nuys. I didn't take her to downtown LA because she wasn't 100%, and downtown LA is a little bit more active. I would have loved to have been in downtown LA, but she didn't want to go necessarily full on. So we went to Van Nuys. We went to the courthouse. We went to City Hall, and when we got there, she didn't want to walk, and I respected it. That's fine. I'll keep you in the car. We were in the car. We were driving around, and we were still protesting. We still had our signs. We had our flags. And, you know, at the end of the day, our kids do need to see it.
Yeah.
Our kids need to know that this is a fundamental right as a U.S. citizen, and you need to allow them that, right? So
How old is
keeping
she?
it safe. She's 15.
She's 15. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So keeping it safe as best you can, because you can't control everybody. And, you know, the mom is right. Like, a lot of things could have popped off. Even if you did gauge yourself by going early, or you just never know. I didn't tell him, but my partner, he's an LAPD officer. And I had told him, like, leading up to it, I had told him, I think I'm going to go on Saturday. And he was like, not telling me no. We're Mexican. Our parents were not born here. He was not telling me no, but he was not
Telling
in
you
agreement
yes
with the
either.
way that everybody handles it,
Did
right?
your sign say FLAPD? Because you literally
You literally do.
every night. Just know you can.
She took
No, I have a
LAPD
tremendous,
officer.
Hey,
I have a tremendous amount of respect for
Well,
you know,
yeah, we
those
know. We
that,
could
that
tell.
wear the badge.
Cynthia took F the police a little too seriously.
Literally.
No, I mean, it's wild. You know, as a Latino, you always have, like, you don't know if your family's going to be with it or not. You know, I
Right.
have
Yeah.
that when they first met him, you should hear the debates that were happening, you know, like, oh, how? You know, you're one of us, and, you know, what do you mean? Like,
He's
I've
a
been
cop.
stopped, I've been racially profiled, you know, all of this. And
Right.
it's crazy because obviously this is where we are now. This is the climate of the situation. And, you know, I love my man so much. He's a little bit darker than I. And I'm like, you definitely look Mexican, sir. Like, you know, so.
Why you're laughing?
It made her feel hot inside when they
Yeah.
argued.
Cynthia.
She's blushing.
Cynthia.
Yes.
So
She is.
this is a good combo, I guess. You and your man. Your man is an LAPD officer. You have a 15-year-old. You said 14?
15.
Yeah, 15.
So he didn't say no,
Yeah,
but he was also like, what was his response?
not with it. Yeah. He definitely, he kept telling me, and he's always told me, like, look, you're going to do what you want to do. He's like, I'm not going to tell you no. He's like, but I don't think it's safe. He would tell me that, like, leading up, you know? And I'm very much
You
like,
would know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people, right, that they take precautions when they go. If you're rolling deep with your homies and you're going to go to downtown LA, you're going to take your kids, and you know that you have at least, like, the bandwidth to be able to be with that many people that it's, like, that much of a buffer, you're going to feel a lot more safe, right? I didn't do that necessarily. I didn't go the route of, like, rallying my friends. I know my friends protested in different areas, but I still felt uneasy taking my daughter because she looks like older. You know, she's 15. She's about to be 16 this year. She looks older. Already as it is, sometimes when we're out, I'm like, people are looking at her some kind of way, you know? I'm like, she's a minor. Please.
What? Cynthia, where are you going
Where
with
are you
this?
going with this conversation? Like this,
I just mean anything can happen while you're out. And even if you're rolling deep with friends
Right.
as a parent, you know, so he definitely still, like, we take my daughter to shows, right? Like to concerts, to like ska shows, you know,
Right.
these kinds of shows. So I feel the same way. Like if it's not me and him protecting her, it doesn't matter how many people we're rolling deep with. Just me personally,
You don't feel as safe.
it's not enough, right? Like, it has to be us, right? So I wasn't with him. I didn't feel safe. We were not gonna.
Right.
Jose, bro.
Damn, fool.
Why'd you do that?
Jose.
Dude? Yeah, Jose.
I know you don't like the cops. You don't have to hang up on cops' wives, bro.
Yeah.
That's rude,
She
dude.
sounded hot.
She's
Hey.
She
There's only so
has a
much you can
man.
control.
Don't get
As long as
arrested.
you
Don't get
control.
But
arrested,
she's right.
Greg.
She's
Free
right.
Greg.
Like you can't. You gotta be precautious.
Yeah.
You gotta be precautious. You have
Especially
to.
when there's guys out there that want to use their car as a bowling ball. Like, nah, I'm good.
True.
What?
I don't know what that
Try to
means.
stop
but yeah.
that. People
Yeah,
ran
they-
over people just
Yeah.
cause.
Oh, yeah.
They could be the opposition. They could be like, I believe in this. I'm gonna take
Yeah,
my
matters
car
into my own
and
hands.
go
Yeah.
into this crowd.
Nothing
and you can't
is
help that.
foreseeable, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
nothing at all.
Okay,
true.
so let's go to Andrew in La Habra. Andrew, ¿qué vole, Andrew? Buenos días.
Good morning, brown bag.
What's up, bro?
Andrew.
Andrew, let me put you up to speed, dog, because she did a podcast. Sosa hit us up. Sosa hit us up, and he told us, "Hey, I love my kids. They're 8 and 15. I was with them over the weekend. Mom was at work. I love her too, but my 15-year-old's like, hey, Dad, I want to go to a protest. I'm seeing this No King stuff all over the news, and I really want to show out and support my community." So he's like, say less. Let's go. And him, his 8 and his 15-year-old went to the No Kings protest in Los Angeles. They come home, and Mom is upset. She's mad because something could have happened to them. She's mad because he didn't talk to her. I mean, he didn't talk to her about it, and now she's not talking to him at all. It's been 2 days, he says, and she hasn't said a word to him. He feels messed up, but he doesn't want to apologize. He's asking us if he should stand on business or say, you know what, babe, I'm sorry. What would you say?
He should apologize, honestly. He should have thought about the safety of his children. He should have thought it a little bit more through, honestly. Just because anything could happen.
Yeah,
anything
can happen anywhere, though, bro, with the kids.
I know, but especially if you're fighting for something, if the protests were fighting against something, there's hatreds on the other side. You never know. It could be anywhere. You just never know.
But you're not going out there to fight. You're going out there to protest. That's it. Like, that's the thing.
I know, but you're fighting against something. So, you know, there's hatred.
Well, you know what? I feel like it's also for support.
Yeah.
You know, what I am seeing is like there's protests where it's like, let's show our love for each other.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yes. And I believe there's other ways we could do it. Like, for example, my kids. I didn't go to the protest on Saturday as much as I wanted to, but I passed by protests with my kids, beeping with music
in the
loud.
car.
Yeah.
There's different ways.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But I think the just the safety of your children. And I mean, like the other caller said, if you're rolling deep and you have like a lot of like older people, you know, multiple people.
Yeah, but
What?
did you have to, so when you pass by, like his kid's not gonna get anything out of that. They're just passing by.
You can.
No, you see it.
That's what I'm saying.
How?
Though, but that's what I'm saying though. Like if they can't get anything out of that, what's the difference? Like if they can't see out the window and be like, oh, this is a protest, then what's the point of
I'm
even
gonna
taking
tell
them?
you, because I've been at protests, there is an energy there. You know, when you find that pocket and you feel very empowered.
Yeah.
You feel empowered. You do feel a part of something, especially sometimes where this stuff is like everybody's talking for you or about you and deciding your life for you. This feels like you have a say in it. There's like this weird energy of that, which it just feels like, okay, I'm doing something, especially in a time where we're watching a lot of stuff and we feel helpless. A lot of us, that feeling, that anxiety is like you want to help. And if you were to see this in person, you were to help that little kid, you would have helped that dad, you would have helped that mom. But because you have this feeling of, I wish I could do something, in those protests you feel like it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's maturity level too. Like not there's grown men out there acting immature.
Yeah.
So when you take your 8-year-old kid, they're looking at that. They're not gonna differentiate between whether that grown man's being immature or not. They're just gonna be like, that's the way to protest.
That's the way, yeah.
Throwing that rock is the way to protest.
But
They don't know that. I don't want my kids to do crack. I'm not taking them to a crack house, bro.
Yeah, that's valid.
You know what I'm saying?
But
you don't have to do that just to show them what's right and wrong.
Yeah, that's
You know
where
what
you
I'm saying?
separate it from a lesson.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, like, look, this is not the way you protest. Mike, why are you throwing rocks? Boom, boom, boom. Like, it's teaching kids at a young age.
The conversation, but
that rock at that point, the rock can hit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't want to.
that-
But that's what I'm saying.
But
I don't want to
imagine,
be like,
you don't take your kid to a concert because maybe people are doing crack there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a crack house is,
Yeah.
I'm not going to a throw your rock party. But if it just so happens to happen at the protest, like I can't help it.
Yeah.
But like that analogy you're giving, or that comparison you're giving, would you not let them go to concerts because of the foul stuff some people do at concerts? No, right?
No, of course not. But these are protests that come with that energy,
Yeah.
though.
I think a lot of protests.
Turn off the news, bro. You're,
But
you're seeing that Waymo car way too much.
But I will say there is that energy that Letty speaks of. It's kind of indescribable. You can't really like
For sure.
put it into terms. It's not tangible, but you do feel it, and you just look around and you see all these people agree with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All these people are
Yeah.
on our side, and then you'll look and see that it's not only people
No, I
that
know,
look like
I
you
know,
too.
but that's us as grown-ups thinking about
Yeah.
that. We're talking about a 7-year-old boy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a big difference.
Yeah.
We understand what's going on. We understand the energy. But that 8-year-old, 7-year-old kid, he can't bro, you got to talk about the maturity of some of these children.
Right.
Not every 7-year-old child is mature enough to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the
I-
15-year-old
There's
can.
grown men that are acting childish. So to expect a 7-year-old child to really
Grasp what's
grasp
happening.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
I mean,
I think that's a lot.
I think it is a lot, but I think it's still doable because the overall lesson isn't that complex. It's like for me, look at my kid, he looks like me. And I'm looking at the
So
news,
cute.
and we're seeing people our skin color being racially profiled, right? So it's like, obviously, he's not going to fully understand that message, but he's going to understand that there's people being, picked up because they look like us.
For sure.
It's not necessarily like, hey, I'm going to break down everything going on. The president
Well,
did.
how old were each of you when
know?
you felt racism? Because I felt racism really early in my life. It happened to my mom outside of a Rite Aid. Some white person, and I'm not saying this is a white person thing, but some older white man was telling her to go back to her country. My mom is a citizen, and I remember being little and feeling so sad that someone would talk to my mom like that. She was shaking. We went to the police station, and she didn't even know what had happened to her. She just knew she was violated. At that time, I'm not too sure if hate crime was a thing, but I remember going, and she's explaining to the officer, this guy told me this, and I feel this way, that, and the third, and they couldn't help her.
Yeah.
They couldn't do anything about it. So imagine if at that age, when I saw that was happening to my mom, I was also told, hey, we're going to a protest against this, then I would feel like something is happening to, quote unquote, fight the crimes against your own personal identity, you know?
Right.
I think that part too, because if we're saying, that's not saying it's a protest because of what they could see, they're seeing a lot of stuff on the other end.
Yeah.
You know?
Also,
No, I
when
get
you
you.
in protesting, it's like, if you go at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., like that's usually the time that nothing's gonna go crazy.
Usually.
There's
Like
always-
if you go like at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., then okay, this is not intelligent of me to bring kids.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unpredictable at that point though. Like, cause some people are like they're out there just to
Of
do-
course.
Antagonize, bro.
they're out there just to do that. It doesn't matter what time of day it is.
Yeah.
So that's it's kind of just unpredictable. Where,
Don't switch your stance, bro, because you were just on some take everybody to the protest.
but that's what I'm saying. Take them. It's unpredictable. Like it's like if you're sitting there like, oh no, this is bad's gonna happen like at any time. Come on, dude.
Something can happen anywhere.
Any moment, anytime.
But
It's
yeah, I mean,
it's a
Sosa-
tricky situation for sure.
yeah, you never know. You never know. But to me, it's the 8-year-old is a little young. Like
Yeah.
Super young.
to Letty's point, like I probably didn't even think about what racism was till I was like 9. And like somebody was being really rude to my grandpa and acted like he couldn't buy a truck that he had all the money for. They were like playing him at the dealership, and then I was like, why are they doing that? And then I kind of realized after my dad was like, oh, they think he doesn't have money because he's Mexican. And then I'm just like, damn, why would they think that? And then you kind of just start to like
Right.
realize.
You see the experience,
But-
patterns and everything.
But then also
experience
everybody has a different time where they experience something. It could be sooner for other people, or Letty, your kids, I feel like they're hyper aware and they're really like aware of like what's going on in social climate. So they probably feel like I want to be out there. I want to see what's up
Yeah,
because
it's
they're
'cause
around a lot of
Jorge-
adults too.
In the car, all he listens to is CNN, and I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, these
my
kids don't need to hear that stuff. Please.
I mean, I think if your kid has social media, then obviously they're old enough to be educated on it. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
where because if they don't,
They're
and
protesting on Roblox.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's a way to protest and save. They can do that.
True.
Take him to the Roblox protest.
It's
That's
safe
fine.
in there
That-
usually.
What's the weird part about that is that there's kids that have to pretend to be police officers in the protest.
It tells you.
With roadblocks.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
It
because
tells you you're a protester, or it tells you you're a police officer.
yeah, because you can't like just
Yeah.
put
Pick
police
what you want.
officers in the protest. You have to
That's
be a police
funny.
officer or a protester.
That was a bar.
Yeah, I see. I
I
heard.
heard it.
All right, Roblox protest. Which one are you?
Oh,
the
Vic's a
police
cop.
officer or the.
I'm not a cop.
Vic and
Yeah,
Greg are
no.
cops.
Right, yeah.
I'm waving a Mexican flag and American flag.
I'm throwing Molotov cocktails. I can't do it in real life.
I'll probably
Not the Molotov.
with concrete.
Damn.
The Homie Helpline.